to make a difference, to help out CHEO and do everything we can.
To the tune of 39,000 plus. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
One of the easiest ways to help the kids at CHEO is by donating online. Visit CHEOtelethon.com to make your telethon donation. Generous corporate sponsors will match your gift. It's a miracle match that doubles your impact thanks to Mitel, Liuna, Mattamy Homes, the Ottawa Professional Firefighters Association, Farm Boy, and CP. Monthly giving is one of the easiest ways to make a difference for the kids at CHEO. Use your credit or Visa debit card. Call now to become a hero for CHEO by becoming a monthly donor. This portion of the CHEO Telethon is brought to you in part by Mattamy Homes.
And welcome back. Thanks for joining us on this gorgeous, gorgeous Sunday. But it's great that you're watching. It's great to be here at the EY Center. I'm Graham Richardson. Patricia Bowl is still here as well. And I'm here for this hour with Julie Willis and with David Murphy. Julie Willis is going to talk about her family and about mental health for youth. And David Murphy is the director of mental health for CHEO, a huge area of high concern for many, many families. And Julie, I wanted to start with you. For the lack of a better term, everything seemed normal. Everything was humming along. And then something changed.
Yes.
For you. What was that?
Well, looking back, I guess I would say that I should have seen the signs earlier, but hindsight being what it is.
And it's not easy.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
I noticed a stark change in my daughter when she was 14 years old. September of 2017, when school started, her grades started declining. She was withdrawing from all of her social activities. She wasn't herself. By the time December rolled around, we found her in a full depression.
Right. And it moved clearly at that time into something more than normal teenage stress and teenage angst, right? Because as a parent, those are the kinds of things.
That's your first reaction.
Of course, which is natural, right? Like we're going to pull through this. Okay, this is. Was that the point where this is not normal? This is something more serious.
Absolutely. I found out that self-harming had been going on for a number of months, and I realized I wasn't equipped to deal with it alone. So I needed to get some professional advice. We did reach out to the community first. Had some success there, but it wasn't until we found the program at CHEO that we were able to make some strides.
Very specific and targeted, and also must have been a relief to actually get some help, some direct help.
A huge relief, just to know that we weren't alone in this.
Yeah, and they certainly are not alone. David Murphy, their family, among so many. When you hear that story, how many times have you heard that kind of a story?
Well, unfortunately, far too often. Since 2010 at CHEO, we have seen an increase of over 75% of visits to our emergency department of children and youth with a mental health problem, and most specifically kids that have suicidal ideation or thoughts of self-harm. In fact, CHEO has the busiest emergency department in the province when it comes to mental health presentations.
And we are going to talk more about that this hour, because as we've seen, it's interesting. This is, I believe, my 9th or 10th telethon, but to see the shift and to see the awakening of this issue, and then to see the fact that it didn't go down. Kids continue to reach out, and CHEO and your dollars are helping treat these kids with what is a life and death situation. We're going to talk about all of that in this hour, but JJ Clark, I believe, has some new friends on the phones, Jay.
Indeed, we do, and new friends to encourage you to call. Mr. Ryan Lindsay and Mr. Dylan Black have joined us. Both esteemed radio men here in the capital, and if I didn't introduce them sooner, they would certainly have been very esteemed indeed. But guys, it's great to have you here.
It's great to be here, honestly. For an organization that's so important in this city, it's something we have to do, definitely.
Dylan Nutschiffer's Rodeo.
You know what? I think this is my 22nd or 23rd CHEO Telethon, and I started back in '96 when Max Keeping invited me up, and Norma Lamont from the CHEO Foundation, and I've been hooked ever since, Jay.
Yeah. Well, we wish we could have gotten more experienced volunteers, but we'll try and lumber along for the next hour with these two characters.
Thanks, JJ. I know you have the veterans of the telethon there, and we have a first-time telethon donor. This is Alicia, and you did something very special for CHEO. What did you do, Alicia?
I raised money for CHEO.
And why? Let's say, what did you make?
I made lemonade.
You made a lot of lemonade, and it had to be really, really sweet lemonade because you've brought along a lemonade piggy bank. Show everyone your beautiful piggy bank and a check for how much? $150. I can't wait. I'm going to join you for some lemonade soon. Thank you very much from the hospital, Alicia.
You're welcome.
Melting, Graham. Melting.
Can we get some love for the Toronto Raptors, please? Let's get some love for the Raptors. Totally on the bandwagon. Hi, everybody. It's Stuntman Stu with a behind-the-scenes tour of the CHEO Telethon. Look at this big, fancy television set. What does that set look like from behind? Let me take you. So, all of the volunteers, when they sit down, they have these numbers behind them so they know where to sit. If you're number 45, you sit there, and so on and so forth. Now, look at this lovely color. Look at the set. Oh, look at this. Here's what it looks like. Oh, look, there's a marker. Let's write a little message. Hero for CHEO. Hashtag Stuntman Stu. They're going to love this. Any kids that you want, if you're at the telethon, I encourage you to come here and write on the set. But behind here, we have the command center. What do you guys do here? What's your name?
I'm Jean.
What do you do here?
Command and control for all the telethon for the phones. So all the calls that come in. So we're watching that. We watch all the agents. We make sure that everything's up and running at all time.
And what's your name?
Phil Taylor.
And what do you do?
I just make sure that the phones are ringing. I press this button here and I can make all the phones ring at certain times.
So if he makes the phones ring, you call, okay? All right, let me show you some more stuff back here. We have the area where I get the microphone and my earpiece where I can hear Graham and Patricia and Leanne. They're talking in my ear, and usually there's a director saying, Stu, wrap it up. I can hear right now, wrap it up. Leanne, back to you.
Thanks so much, Stu. I wasn't able to fully hear you. I heard you talk about Raptors excitement, and it really relates to the Civitan Club because you are called the...
We're the Northern Lights, and the other's the True North.
Are you basketball fans?
Certainly.
And you're CHEO fans, one and all. We're so grateful to you for being here. What is it that the Civitan members did, Ken?
In money?
Yes. Well, no, what did you do to raise this money?
Many things, CHEO breakfasts to pancake breakfasts. We did a big deer contest from our Lannert Club. So all the clubs in the area, it's 2 different districts.
So every conceivable way to raise money, you incorporated it in this check, and we are so grateful. Please flip the checks over because we don't have just one. We have 2 checks for how much, Ken? You're the money man too.
Oh, $14,350 and $5,700.
That's a lot of pancakes. Thank you very much. All for the Children's Hospital. Lemonade, pancakes. Dylan, any way to raise money for our hospital, people in our community, come up with it.
All right, here we are with the amazing people from Gabriel Pizza. I mean, who doesn't like Gabriel Pizza? Ray Scaff is here, Amel Sakley as well. Hello, Ray.
Dylan, always a pleasure.
Wonderful to have you here, Amel, as well. How are you doing?
I'm great. Great to be here, too. So proud. Thank you.
Good. I'm glad you're proud. I'm glad you're happy. Let me talk about Gabriel because you are actually donating pizza here today for some of the hardworking people backstage.
Well, absolutely. Everybody's been working on this event for months, and we want to be part of it. We're very proud to be part of this community, and we've been supporting CHEO all year long, and comes to today.
All right, Amel, you actually have something that's going on today that's very important. If people are getting hungry around this time of day, where should they go? Because?
So $2 from every large Gabriel pizza ordered is going to be donated to CHEO today, all day, and yesterday. So
Amazing. Thank you, Gabriel Pizza. I'm hungry. Ryan.
I'm standing here with Sergeant Mark Nethercott. And Mark, what is it? We can call you Mark, but
Yes, you can, Ryan. Thank you.
today, Mark, why are you guys here? Why is CHEO such an important organization? And I'm sure you've seen some of these things firsthand.
Absolutely. We're either previous first responders or currently first responders, and we know the importance of the services that CHEO provides to our youth and young people, and we recognize the need of that in our community, and we're just here to show our support. And please give us a call here at 613-738-1450.
First time, second time, third time? How far are you in?
I think we're in year 5.
Ooh, 5th year. Well done. Okay, well, we'll talk to you guys in a bit. We're going to go over to Leanne Cusack now.
Thank you so much, Ryan. And we're over here, we're doing the math. And there's a lot of math because you have been donating, Mark, on behalf of, well, individually and on behalf of Enbridge for how many years?
24.
And it all started because of your beautiful, now healthy daughter, Morgan. Her introduction to the hospital was?
She was tiny, tiny, tiny. She was 3 pounds, 6 ounces.
And that was at a time when we did not have the technology that we do now.
Correct. She was in neonatal intensive care for 29 days.
And you have never forgotten, and you're here year after year, and each year you bring along a beautiful check. How much money have you raised for CHEO, Mark?
$465,000.
Whoa. Thank you so much. And this year, to add to that total, and then to add to this total, because you came in the door to present a check for $21,000, but you're adding to it to the tune of
$4,000 to make it $25,000 to make it $491,000.
See, that's why we were over here adding, and we just keep adding and adding, Graham, and that's what Enbridge and guys like Mark do for the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario. Thank you.
Some fantastic numbers. Thanks, Leanne. And we were talking here on the desk about the large numbers, of course, that everybody pays attention to. And then up pops $150 for the lemonade stand, which is a wonderful tribute. That's a wonderful thing about this telethon and about this day. We're celebrating the small but very, very important things and the large things, all of it going to excellent causes like what we're talking about this hour, which is mental health and the surge. David Murphy, you talk about, you're the director of mental health for CHEO, the surge that is not a surge because it has peaked and stayed there. Do we know why? Right. And are you sure it's not going to go down in terms of demands on the emergent demands for mental health services?
Right. You're exactly right. It is. We don't see it as a surge. It really has become our new normal, and our data, our statistics from the presentations has been consistent now over the last 10 years, and we see this as being long term. We don't see this going away. We know that 1 in 5 kids in all of Canada have some type of mental health problem or mental health issue. We know that there are impacts in regards to a new phenomenon around social media and the impact that that's having actually on our kids' mental health. And kids nowadays are feeling as if they're in a constant state of performance in being on their social media with their friends with no downtime. That's really impacting their sleep and their face-to-face interactions with people.
It is a new world, and they're competing for. They're measured by the second, by how many likes they have and how much engagement they have, and we tend to forget that at that particular age, in those ages, that's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of added pressure on top of academic, on top of sports, on top of all of these other things. And I guess I don't know what to do about it as a parent.
Right.
You know, like we were talking off air about the Raptors, people playing more basketball, they're off their phones.
Yeah.
I guess you look for those little breaks, right?
Yeah. Well, even within your own family, as parents themselves, it's their opportunity to be a role model and put that phone down and show your children and youth that they're more important to you than their phones. And really to be able to have protected times at meal times and other family times where it's known within the family that we're taking a break from phone and we're going to be interacting as a family.
And we are speaking this hour as well with Julie about your daughter, and your daughter's doing better. And we're going to talk a bit more about that, which is great news. And right now, we wanted to talk about caring for CHEO's tiniest patients. It requires specialized, very expensive, particular equipment. Derek Bowker, an Ottawa firefighter, has been organizing the Hockey for Little Hearts tournament. For the last 10 years, more than $100,000 donated to ensure NICU babies get world-class care.
Hi, I'm Derek.
Hi, Derek. Don Marie. This is Maddox.
Oh, hi, Maddox.
A firefighter in a hockey jersey, making the rounds at the NICU.
He's just really excited right now. That's his respiratory rate.
Yeah, I see that.
A rare opportunity for Derek Bowker to see the tiny patients he helps up close.
What's his name? Jace Samuel.
For 10 years now, Bowker has been the driving force behind Hockey for Little Hearts.
The week of the tournament, it's just so exciting. There's so many guys that are showing up to the rink, and girls. We have lots of female firefighters that come and play as well.
It now draws 400 firefighters. When it began, Bowker had no special connection to the hospital, wasn't even a dad himself, just wanted to do something.
Smallest kids with the littlest hearts needed the most help.
What he's done is raise over $100,000 for CHEO.
A lot of our equipment isn't used anywhere else, even within this institution. It's only for our NICU.
Oh, that's great.
We only have one giraffe, which is an isolette that the whole top comes up. So if a baby needs to be rushed to the OR for a type of surgery, they go in that bed and they operate on that bed.
The tournament inadvertently helping Bowker's own sister, her twins, born weeks early. Their first home was right here.
Wow, so you've been here for 3 months.
Just as it has been for Jace Samuel Cook, whose parents had no idea the complex care required for a premature infant.
There's so much you don't even think about that goes into like taking care of a baby like this and other babies in this situation, you know, like the ventilators and the different machines.
Look at his eyes are wide open.
To see people like Derek doing stuff like that, it's like, man, that's really helping a lot.
Not being able to hold him is hard, but we were able to hold him for a little while. And then he had his surgery, and just looking forward to getting him off this and holding him again.
That's amazing.
That's what drives both nurses.
I think one of my favorite parts is taking a baby that's been very sick and putting that baby in mom and dad's arms.
Which is nice, right?
And a firefighting hockey fundraiser.
It's the most special thing that anybody has, and you want the best care that they can receive. Want to wish you all the best, man. Good luck with everything.
Thanks again.
Yeah, no problem.
That's a whole lot of heart, a whole lot of intention, and it is so great that we were able to share that story, Derek. And Derek just saw Cassandra over in the phone bank, and we're so glad you came down because there's a lot of energy and a lot of organization here, isn't there, Derek?
Absolutely, yeah. Cassandra's one of our biggest organizers for the tournament, and want to make sure she's up here to be part of this check presentation.
You started doing this before your nieces were treated at CHEO, before you became a dad even.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is our 10th year. My oldest son's 9, and my nieces are they're 4, going to school for the first year this year. So long before any of that came along, we started this tournament to try to make a difference.
We may have had a little, our eyes well up off camera.
Yeah,
is that right? And you still do whenever you are so profoundly grateful to the hospital.
Well, absolutely. I mean, CHEO is such an amazing place for us to have in our community, to be able to go there and without, they just take care of everybody. And, the fact that we've started this tournament and we're trying to help raise money to buy equipment, and they actually saved my sister's twins. It's pretty cool.
And next year, another piece of equipment. But this year, thanks to Maureen Graham at Tony Graham, you have brought along a check, both from Maureen Graham and from this fabulous hockey tournament. You say the largest in North America of its kind.
Yeah, that's right. Tony Graham Automotive Group and Maureen Graham, they've come on as a major sponsor for us. And with this check this year, it just solidifies we are the largest firefighter charity tournament in North America, donating more money than any other fire department does, and helping buy equipment for the hospital.
Hockey for Little Hearts and people with big hearts. Thank you so much, Graham.
That is a fantastic number. And I'm guessing the firefighters have a bit of fun at that tournament. Nothing wrong with that. 10 years too. That's fantastic. We're talking about mental health this hour in children. Julie Willis is here speaking about her daughter. And we'd heard earlier that you found her in a very vulnerable, horrifying state as a parent, suicidal. and you started to discover some of the challenges she was facing on her own. And of course, our kids don't tell us everything, so this world opens up to you. Where is she now? How is she doing now? And if that was the lowest point, how much further on is she?
Well, after months of not being able to get out of bed and wanting to take her own life, she is now back at school, part-time, getting ready for exams, pulling off an A average. She's back to her old self. She's on the road to recovery.
And it must be an incredible relief and joy to see that.
It's a huge relief.
And it's people watching who haven't been through this might think, okay, she's done. It's been a terrible few years. She's done. And you say that's not the case.
I say that's not the case. CHEO gave our whole family life-saving tools that she will carry with her and will need for the rest of her life. Mental illness doesn't just go away. There isn't a cure, but she has gained so many distress tolerance skills and coping strategies through the program at CHEO, and they will serve her for the rest of her life.
And this is not, we talked about eating disorders, this is not something that goes away, and it's hard to adjust to that mindset as a parent, isn't it?
Absolutely. I fear she will struggle with this for the rest of her life, as many people do. Many people have reached out to us in the wake of everything to say that 30 years down the road they might be struggling, but the skills they learn now are invaluable.
And lots of stories like this that you hear. Lots of stories about adjusting to this lifelong challenge that is an eating disorder, or maybe it's depression, or maybe it's suicidal thoughts.
Yes, absolutely. Lots of stories. And I think one of the areas in which we need to be more proactive is getting ahead of this, and that's intervening early. And we have just recently started a infant mental health clinic where we're seeing kids from birth to 6. And it's amazing to know in Ontario, 17% of kids between the age of 2 and 4 actually have a diagnosable mental health problem. And we now...
Between 2 and 4?
Between 2 and 4 years of age.
Wow, that's not even on the radar for a lot of people.
No, the foundations of mental health are really laid within those first few years.
Again, another thing we're learning, right, about rearing children, about bringing up children, that it's never too early to watch for those signs.
No, absolutely.
No. We're going to have more discussion about this. A very important topic, touches literally millions of people across the country and so many people right here at home. And we're going to go to Michael O'Byrne, who's at CHEO. Now, music plays a role in all of our lives. It's also part of a new program at CHEO, and Michael O'Byrne is here to tell us about it. Michael.
The importance of music. It's more than just entertainment here at CHEO. It's part of treating children here at CHEO. And Kim is a child life specialist. Tell me about the importance of music and what it means to kids.
Well, here at CHEO, we're kind of caring for the whole child. So we want to make them feel more at home while they're here and normalize their experience. And one way that we've been doing that lately is through music therapy. And it's just another avenue where children have choice, they have expression, and they can just feel a little more comfortable while they're with us here.
Kind of make them feel a little more like they're at home, maybe hanging out with their parents in the living room listening to some music?
Exactly.
Well, you're a young patient here at CHEO. Let me ask you a question. First of all, what's your name?
Anna.
And is it nice kind of sitting around just listening to some mellow music and maybe singing along?
Yeah, it just brightens our day more.
What do you like the most about it?
Just listening to it and making me feel more comfortable here.
Let's face it, there's a lot of other places you'd rather be, but if you're going to be here, you might as well enjoy it as much as you can, right?
Yeah.
Now, Alexa, you're a student, but music therapy is your thing. That's what you're studying. Tell me about the importance of music when it comes to taking care of kids in a setting like CHEO.
Well, music is such a different avenue to connecting with children, youth. Sometimes it's harder to express with words what's going on, how you're feeling, and sometimes music is the easiest way to do that because it's something outside of yourself but still connects to you.
And I didn't realize that there was an actual thing that you could study, but that's what you want to do for the rest of your life.
Yeah, there's a few schools in Canada that offer the program, and it's still a growing field, and we love any advertisement we can to kind of show what we do. But yeah, it's definitely really great. Any type of art therapy is awesome.
How new is this to CHEO in terms of all the different things you do here with children?
This is our newest kind of program that we're hoping to roll out here. We have the playroom, we do bedside activities, we have pet therapy also, but music therapy is something that we're really thinking would be great to expand at CHEO.
I guess you could say this is breaking news. It's brand new. How about taking us out on a little bit of music, Alexa? We'll be back.
It's time for another miracle match. You know, Dan Greenberg and Barbara Crook, fabulous, and they have a great foundation, and they would like to sponsor our next miracle match, and we couldn't be happier. And we want to thank Dan and Barbara very much for being great members of our community and great supporters of CHEO. Let's put her on the clock here and do it. CHEO, $10,000 miracle match. Oh, Danny, you're the best. Barbara, you too. Appreciate your support once again. Here we are, CHEO. Miracle match time. We got a $10,000 miracle match. Dan Greenberg, Barbara Crook. Oh, just fabulous, fabulous folks. So happy to have them. So happy they're sponsoring this $10,000 miracle match. Couldn't be happier. Couldn't find two better folks. Couldn't find a better community and couldn't find better volunteers. John Ferguson's back again for year 628, ladies and gentlemen. John's been here just about that long with Giant Tiger. So many familiar faces. It's one of the reasons it's so much fun to be here, so much fun to watch every year, because you see the same faces. It's the same old faces. Well, yeah, the same old people that care every year come back and help us and volunteer. We couldn't be happier. Telephone number is 613-738-1450. It is a miracle match. $10,000. Dan B. Foundation. Barbara Cook and Dan Greenberg. Thank you so much on behalf of the kids at CHEO. Thank you so much for your telephone call. Thanks for being part of this special miracle match. It's a $10,000 miracle match. We'd like $10,000 miracle matches. We just need the phone calls so we can match your donation. Every telephone that's ringing right now means something spectacular is happening for the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario and Western Quebec. And here is the other miraculous part. You've got a whole minute and 18 seconds to make that contribution. Make your donation right now and make it count. Thank you to the Danby Foundation and their marvelous continuing ongoing support and work with the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario and too many other charities to mention. For them and for us. And a great CHEO Telethon on a Sunday afternoon is underway once again, and this is the time to call the telethon. Gonna call? Boy, call it right now. Why wouldn't you? $100 becomes $200. $250 becomes $500. That's a heck of a deal on a Sunday afternoon. You go to any bank, try and get a 100% investment return on that investment? No way. No way. But that's what this is. This is a 100% return on your money from Dan B. Foundation. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good Sunday afternoon deal. Not going to get that anywhere else. 613-738-1450. $100, that turns into $200. There's your 100% return and a 100% great result for the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario. Your participation matched with Danby Foundation and their participation unbelievably unbeatable.
Thank you to the following for making the CHEO Telethon possible.
and Ocean are twins, and